Friday, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Jason Hackett alongside Alicia Lewis. We're going to get to the protests happening at the U of M and all the other headlines in just a minute. But first, we need to talk about the rain and possible snow on its way here.
Definitely going to impact your weekend plans in some shape or form. Our weather team has issued an impact alert for tonight into tomorrow, John. Any new updates?
Well, yes, on the snow front. Overnight, that thing has shifted a little east. So Bemidji, Brainerd, Alexandria, you know what is going up. All right, we'll talk about that in great detail, but we got to get to the storms first. Snow comes second. Setting the table with the storms with instability starting to show up. How do you notice that? Well, it's 51 this morning in middle of March, so it's very, very warm. I'm outside right now. It is unreal out here. Enjoy your day. Even Brainerd and St. Cloud were nearing the middle 40s to around 50. Temperatures take off. We'll make it into the 70s. 70s. Record today is 73. I got us right at it. Southeast winds at 15 miles per hour. Not the windiest until after the storm passes. The timing of this, 7 p.m. to 7 p.m. The impacts are kind of everything, depending on where you live. Some for thunderstorms like Red Wing, others for blizzard-like conditions like Brainerd, Bemidji. And the caution is going to be for everybody here, 50-degree temperature drop. So we'll map this out. We're going to talk about the ins and outs and those updates that came in overnight on those snow totals in a bit. Alicia?
John, thank you. Just hopping around the Twin Cities Metro, looking at traffic cameras, looking at the map for you. It's looking great right now. All green. Check your own route, but whether you're coming from the North Metro down to 694 or the southern suburbs hitting 494, drive times around the loop are average this morning. Let's show you some traffic cameras. Highway 10 at Foley Boulevard. Roads in decent shape. Not seeing much snow or ice on them anymore.
Turning now to our top story here at 6:02. While you were sleeping, we learned a protest is happening in less than an hour at the U of M.
That's right. It's taking place before a Board of Regents vote on a controversial resolution that some say will limit free speech on campus. Michelle Beck is on the U's campus right now with new details about this protest and the contentious resolution. Michelle.
Well, Alicia, Jason, protesters tell us that their free speech is at stake, and we are expecting to see them here at the Alumni Center within the hour. Shortly, a little bit after that, around 7:30 is when the Board of Regents will kick off its meeting. Now, I took a look at the docket for this morning, and it shows the Regents will act on a controversial resolution. The criticism could be summarized like this: the U must not muzzle its scholars. That's the title of a professor's op-ed in the Star Tribune. The resolution itself defines official university statements. Here's one point that caught my eye. Those statements on issues of public concern or interest are not allowed unless the president says so. In doing so, the resolution goes on to say it's not trying to limit anyone's academic freedom. And now, guys, the docket for this morning also points out that the resolution has gone through some changes since last month's Board of Regents meeting, and that's due to the larger university community's response. Back to you.
All right, again, that protest starting here in less than an hour. Michelle Beck, live on the U's campus. Thank you. And taking you live right now to the U.S. Capitol ahead of a possible government shutdown set to happen at midnight. That's if a funding bill is not passed and signed by President Trump by 11:59 p.m. In a matter of hours, the Senate is set to vote on a GOP funding bill to keep the government up and running. Republicans need a handful of Democrats to pass the resolution, and we're learning this morning Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer will be one of them. This comes a day after he vowed Senate Democrats would not pass it. Schumer says the bill is very bad, but the chaos of a government shutdown, he says, would be a worse option.
Happening right now, the State Patrol has extra enforcement on the roads heading into St. Patrick's Day weekend looking for drunk drivers.
Now, we did reach out to the Department of Public Safety, and officials tell us since 2019, 10 people have died in alcohol-related crashes over the St. Patrick's Day weekend. In a few hours, a group of lawmakers will launch a new push to reform DWI laws across the state. Audrey Russo is live in St. Louis Park this morning with some new details about this proposed bill. Good morning, Audrey.
Good morning, Jason, Alicia. Yeah, lawmakers are going to be making this announcement at 12:30 here at the Park Tavern. This is the same place where police say a drunk driver killed 2 people after crashing through the patio area behind me. Now, I reached out to the lawmakers who introduced this bill. Here are some of the key takeaways and the key changes that they tell me it outlines. When a driver gets their license suspended right now, that punishment is based on a 10-year window for prior DWIs. Now, this bill extends that look-back payback window to 20 years. It also modifies how long someone must use an ignition interlock system, depending on the number of past impaired driving offenses they have. The bill also requires all ignition lock users to complete a rehab program before they get their license back. And this focus on past DWI offenses really brings the attention back to what happened here at the Park Tavern. The suspect in that case had 5 prior drunk driving offenses. Jason Alicia.
Audrey Russo reporting live for us in St. Louis Park. Thank you. Well, this morning, Governor Tim Walz is hitting the road to host town halls in GOP districts. His first one is at 2 o'clock this afternoon in Des Moines suburbs. Then tomorrow, he's going to be heading to Omaha. This comes after GOP leadership told their Congress members to stop doing events because of protesters questioning Trump's administration's policies. George Washington University political expert Todd Belt tells us Walz's town hall strategy is a notable shift for Democrats.
They see a real opportunity here with what's going on in Washington, D.C. There's a lot of resentment. People are losing a lot of their benefits. People are losing jobs. And they don't think that this is exactly what they voted for. This is an opportunity to create a wedge in that Republican vote.
And Walz is getting a lot of backlash for these town halls. Here in Minnesota, House Republican Majority Leader Harry Niska ripped Walz for leaving the state while the historically divided legislature is in session.
Turning out to a health alert everyone needs to hear this morning. New data in the last 24 hours from the state health department shows 2 children died from the flu last week. MDH says there are currently flu outbreaks at 205 schools and 119 long-term care facilities. Overall, both flu-related hospitalizations and deaths have decreased over the last several weeks.
In 3 hours, the high-profile Feeding Our Future fraud trial will be entering the final day of testimony. The judge told the defense and federal prosecutors that closing arguments need to start Monday because of another trial that she's presiding over. Expect another contentious day, though, on the stand for the alleged mastermind of the scheme, former executive director Amy Bach. She's under cross-examination, and yesterday Bach admitted millions in fraud happened within Feeding Our Future, but she claimed she took no part in it. Bach testified she trusted her staff had verified the numbers before she submitted them to the state.
If you're driving through South Minneapolis this morning, just a heads up for you. The intersection at 50th Street and Penn Avenue is closed right now. That's just down the road from Minnehaha Parkway. That's the same intersection that was hit by this water main break last month. You may remember watching this live right here on Sunrise. In the last 15 hours, construction crews say they found signs of instability in the buildings boarded up since the incident. Public Works crews are working to reopen the area, but right now they aren't sure when that will be.
6:08 on your Friday. All eyes on the Timberwolves this morning as they're hunting for their 7th win in a row. Tonight, they're taking on Orlando here at home. Tip-off at the Target Center at 7 o'clock. Should be a good one. And hey, there it is, the bottom right hand of your screen, the countdown of the Wolves live right here on KARE 11, just 2 days out.
Yeah, that game versus the Utah Jazz. Pregame coverage starts at 5 p.m. on Sunday. Right now, they're sitting at